Alright everyone, hello and welcome back. We've decided that we're going to bring back the F1 race reviews, because why not? If you didn't check out my F1 preseason video, check it out. It's 17 minutes long, it's quite long, but it's probably one of the best videos I've ever done. Anyway, hello and welcome back. It's the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, and I am joined by my esteemed co-host. It's Mr. Owen.
Yay. F1.
Yay. Well, we're going to get right into it. We're going to do a quick recap if you didn't watch my pre-season video. So we'll go kind of in chronologically championship order. So we'll start off with Mercedes. They struggled a little bit. They missed out on almost a full day of testing. Red Bull look very strong. Their car looks planted, looks great. McLaren looks pretty strong as well. Then I think it was Aston Martin looks a bit iffy. So does Alpine as well. Ferrari looks stronger than last year, but still not very good. No, well, no, not really. AlphaTauri looks very good. Very, very, very good.
Doing better, but by a small margin.
Yeah, but there's... I mean, this time last year, I don't think we even actually got points, so... I think we'll take it.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, AlphaTauri was pretty strong, actually, preseason testing. They did pretty well. Then we had Haas. They're not going to like do anything this year. Alfa Romeo look stronger than last year as well with that new Ferrari engine. And then there's Williams who haven't really done anything. Both Haas and Williams are actually, they're not really going to upgrade their car this year. They're just going to focus on next year with the new rule changes.
They probably have enough money to. That's probably why.
Well, no, because Haas decided to get Nikita Mazepin's father and basically buy the team. So they're full of money. They're full of Russian money at the moment.
That's why he's not getting thrown off the team for spinning into the wall.
I mean, he sexually harassed a female on his Instagram story and then just didn't apologize. And they stood by him.
Makes sense now.
Yeah, it's the same with Lance Stroll.
He just does it just to crash cars.
Yeah. He's like Daniel Kvyat, but worse.
He gets paid to crash his... He's a genius. Gotta hand it to him.
Right, well, let's move on then to... We'll go qualifying, where Verstappen rinsed the Mercedeses by quite a lot, actually. I mean, 4/10, near enough to 4/10 of a second over Hamilton. Then it was Bottas. Leclerc P4. You cannot say the Ferrari are shit now. Leclerc P4. Then was Gasly P5, Norris P6, Ricciardo P7, Carlos P8. Fernando Alonso returning back to the sport in an Alpine that does not look like it should be in the top 10. He came P9, and then it was Stroll in P10. Nobody else really to report apart from Vettel got a 5-place grid penalty for ignoring yellow flags. He didn't have a good qualifying session. He got caught up in the yellow flags and then actually kind of got penalised for it. So at the end, I think he qualified P18, got the 5-place grid drop, started P20, and his race was kind of run then. So that's qualifying. We'll go to the start of the Grand Prix, and now before we came on air, before we started recording this, Mr. Owen looked at the highlights video, and you noticed something about lap 1, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, which bit about lap 1? Which shit?
We'll start off with Nikita Mazepin.
Ah, yeah, the idiot. It was turn 3. That's worse than what the Ferraris did last year.
That is true.
What the
I mean, he spun twice during Q1, and he didn't get out of Q1. So he spun twice in the same session, then spun into the barriers for this race.
Just ruined his front right hand weight tire thingy. It's fucked.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, Mick Schumacher, a corner later, did pretty much the exact same thing.
But he got to continue driving, didn't he?
Exactly. I mean, okay. In fairness to both those drivers, that Haas looks like a real handful. Because I don't think they've really sorted out their tyre issues from last year. They're not really working on the car. So, that Haas is not a good car.
It's like a Lada.
Well, no, it's an American team with Russian backing.
There's your reasoning. It's shit then.
I can't argue. But I mean, in fairness though, in like Haas when they first entered F1 I think it was 2015, or it might have been 2016. They got regular P4s, P5s. I think they even got a podium in like their fourth race. They've only gone down as their things gone on, and I'm just sat there thinking like, unless they do really well next year, I cannot see a Haas staying in the sport for too while longer, because they're just not getting the results.
I have no clue because I haven't. Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Sure.
Right. Well, we'll continue on. Leclerc overtook Bottas. I think that's got to be one of the highlights of the race.
For
Don't
how
worry
long?
that he was about 4 laps.
So not great.
Yeah. No, but it is an improvement. In fairness, the Ferraris had a really good.
Anything's an improvement for the. What do you mean? Ferrari didn't have a good 6th
Yeah.
and 8th.
Yeah.
That's laughable.
What do you mean that's laughable?
That is laughable.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Ferrari are 4th in constructors currently. Considering they were 6th last year, that's already an improvement.
Marginal. What was their lap time? They were 59. They were in full minute
Yes.
behind Lewis Hamilton.
Yes, but they weren't lapped, and they were last year. On almost every race they were lapped.
Only the first race, so I was like, don't get your hopes up. Lewis Hamilton's only
No,
getting
that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other Ferrari is a minute 7 seconds behind. He was he was a second slower than Daniel Ricciardo in 7th.
Yes.
And
A second though.
And then Leclerc was 7 seconds slower than Sergio Perez.
Well, yeah, but Perez. Okay, Okay. Another word on Perez. So he had a pretty terrible qualifying. He started P11 because he couldn't get into. He basically made a mistake in the medium tires in qualifying too. Then went back out with medium tires and just about missed out. So that Red Bull was always going to be pretty quick. Only problem was that at the start of the race, his car actually just shut off completely. The electronics just completely went. Good thing though is he didn't stall the car.
He did. Took his foot off the clutch and fucked everything. It's own fault.
It's not, but anyway.
I'll just go by what I saw. That's all.
Anyway, what Perez managed to get it going again. He basically just pressed Control Alt Delete on the steering wheel and just rebooted the car. Well, kind of started in the pit lane and very, very, very quickly made his way up through the field. I think P6 was it P6 or P7 for him?
6.
P6.
No.
I think
no, never mind. 7. Sorry.
P7.
Yeah.
I think that's a good result
No,
for
he's
Perez.
5th.
All things considered.
Oops.
He's 5th. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he had a good race. In fairness, he had a good race.
Seeing he was on grid
yeah,
11, he was the only one in top 10 grid in the top. Well, no, he's not, but he's the.
Well, yeah, he didn't actually start P11 though. He started in the pit lane, so it was P20.
Yeah.
So he had a good race, considering he won from last in the previous Sakir Grand Prix.
Yeah,
I think he did pretty well.
Haas was 19 and they DNF'd. It's
Yes,
a pretty good result. And Mick Schumacher
it is a very good result.
only made 2 positions. No, he did make only 2 positions.
Yeah.
Wait, what the
in
fuck?
fairness, though, that Haas is not going to be
Gasly-
going places this year.
Gasly started 5th on grid and was 17th.
Yeah, a poor race from. I don't think we've really seen AlphaTauri.
That's more than a poor. That's a horrible race.
Well, yeah, I mean, he clipped. Who did he clip? I think it was Daniel Ricciardo's rear tire.
That's the dude who
Yeah,
lost his entire front splitter.
Yeah, his entire front wing just kind of died. So I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't see more from Gasly, but yeah, P17 at the end of the day isn't a good showing from AlphaTauri. But we have to say a congratulations to Yuki Tsunoda. His first race start I think it was P9 or 10 he finished in his
Yeah.
rookie race. I think it's a. I'm very much liking Yuki Tsunoda. He's a really fun,
What a
down to
name.
earth guy. What a name.
It is. It's a
Um,
nice name. He went
it
from
is.
13th to 9th in his first race, which is pretty smexy.
It is indeed. We're going to talk about Fernando Alonso. Bit of a disappointing race. The Alpha or the Alpine looked. It didn't look great. He retired with brake issues. I think it was lap 35 or 36.
32.
32. There you go. Um, I don't know how to feel about the Alpine, and the same with the Aston Martin. I don't really think we've seen their true pace. I think they're struggling a little bit. What do you think about Fernando coming back for 2 years? Do you think that maybe Alpine should let one of their younger drivers, like maybe Guan Yu Zhou, get a race start, or do you think it's good to get the
The
old guys
driver,
back into F1?
the driver doesn't matter. It's the car. So I think that I'm going to come up with a design for a new F1 car for them. It's going to be the best Alpine there ever was. And he's going to drive it. It's going to be submitted and I'm going to get paid millions.
Okay.
I'm going to be genius. But sure, he can continue getting loads of cash. But they should... I think... yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think, like, good for the experience, but also when if he smashes his face into a wall at 500 kilometers per hour, they need a new driver and they won't have any.
All right. Well, let's talk about the last lap then. The last few
Yeah.
laps, because Red Bull and Mercedes has some interesting tire strategies. At different points in the race, it looked like that either one was going to win. What happened? I think if Red Bull had pitted Max a lap or two earlier, because they were losing about a second a lap to the Mercs before they pitted, I think they would have won. We're going to talk though about the track limits,
Yeah.
because during the race, Mercedes at turn 4. Now here's okay. During practice and qualifying, the stewards strictly enforced turn 4 track limits. If you don't know what turn 4 is, I will maybe do a little clip now on F1 2020 or 2021 F1 2020 to show you just what I mean. Okay, so here we go. We're coming down turn 4, hit the apex, and then you can run wide. Okay, usually you get away with it, but the steward said no. Right, we're clamping down on it. That's not going to happen anymore. So for practice and qualifying, anybody who went over the white line on the curb, their lap time got deleted. But during the race, they didn't specify whether you could do it or not. So Mercedes, there was a lot of confusion. So Mercedes and Hamilton and Bottas both went over that curb about 12 times in total. Now, Max, when he got behind the Mercs, noticed this, said to his race engineer, what the hell's going on? And the race engineer come back to him and said, look, do exactly the same. Keep going over that curb until race control says otherwise. So he did, okay? Very, very poor on the race controls section, okay? But this is where it's going to be interesting, because on the third last lap, Verstappen went for a move at turn 4. It was 3 wide, so Hamilton was overtaking a back marker. I think it might have been one of the Alfa Romeos. I think actually it was Giovinazzi. Verstappen was on the outside. It was Hamilton in the middle, Giovinazzi. Verstappen went in, got a little bit of wheel spin, overtook Hamilton off the track. Okay, and in fairness to Verstappen, on the next straight he gave the position up, so that you can't really fault Verstappen. He didn't get the position back in the end. But here's my argument, okay? And I've seen a few different kind of news outlets talk about this, why it was okay for the Mercs to go over the white line and it wasn't okay for Verstappen. You can't overtake if you go off the circuit, because otherwise F1 drivers would just make their own circuit, okay? They just corner cut like there's no tomorrow, okay? We get that. You can't overtake over the circuit. But when Hamilton went like off the track, okay, he gained a little bit of lap time, because otherwise he wouldn't do it. I think you can agree with me there.
I don't know. Was he just being a shit driver and just couldn't actually turn?
No, you do gain an advantage because you can carry more speed into the corner, run wider, and then come back onto the track.
Don't know the corner that was.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Is
Well,
it the
you
one-
can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, they wouldn't be out there if they weren't gaining advantage. Verstappen was 7 tenths behind Hamilton across the line. And my argument that I have here is that during those 12 times that both the Mercs ran wide at turn 4, they would have gained more than 7 tenths of a second. So I think, and you can debate this and maybe go into the chat, everybody watching the video, let me know what you think about this. Go on to Formula 1. I'll link the little battle, maybe. I'll link the final lap kind of drama in the comments, or in the description. But I think if Hamilton gained more than 7 tenths of a second by running wide at turn 4, Verstappen should have won. So why weren't the Mercs clamped down for track limits? That would be my...
I can see how, but also no at the same time.
Right. Well, at the end of the race, Verstappen couldn't quite do it in the end. It was a thriller. And I think this is only going to make Max more angry. And I think in the next race, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola, we're finally returning back to Imola for the second time, I think we could have a real championship battle on our hands. Because that Red Bull looks very strong. And the Mercs look a little bit off. But I think this race could be crucial when it comes to points and championships at the end of the season. But we're going to go through the results. Hamilton P1, Verstappen P2, Bottas P3, Norris P4. Good showing from McLaren, actually. What are your thoughts on McLaren?
I did all right, didn't I? Where else did they come? McLaren came 7th and 4, which is better than the Ferrari. So suck it, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, the McLarens were a little stronger, but in fair, I mean, at the start of the season, we weren't thinking that the Ferraris were going to go for the McLarens. So, we thought they were going to be fighting more towards the Alfa, or the Aston Martins and the Alpines. Perez, after coming 11th, then 20th, then came back in 5th. Strong showing from Perez. A little bit unfortunate.
Best driver on that race, I'd say. That was some driving.
Yeah, I think he did get a driver of the day, actually. Leclerc came P6, Ricciardo P7, Sainz P8. A little bit of a disappointing race for Sainz in his debut for Ferrari. Started, I think it was 8th or 9th. I think it was 8th. Dropped down the order to about maybe 11th or 12th, then came back. Just never really kind of got into it. Couldn't really make the overtake stick. Yuki Tsunoda, points in his debut, very good for Yuki, and Stroll managed to keep it in P10. Alfa Romeo, though, P11 and P12. I think that's a good showing from Alfa Romeo. What do you think?
They didn't break down, so yeah, pretty good.
Right, Esteban Ocon, 13th. That's probably more where that Alpine should be. George Russell, Williams, 14th. I think that's a pretty good showing from Russell.
I just ignore everything past P10. That they don't matter, really.
That's fair.
If they don't manage to get up to the top 10, like, what's the point in racing? And you better get there next time. That's just it.
Yeah. I mean, Williams really do need to be getting points this season.
Yeah, they don't get any points. So just... Where is it? Just ignore everything from Lance Stroll down. Pretty much.
Well, I mean, like... I don't know, the Alphas were pretty quick. Raikkonen...
The Alpha, everything underneath the Aston Martin, the Alfa Romeo, the first Alfa Romeo, was lapped. Or DNF'd.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Okay, well, Vettel P15, a pretty poor race from Vettel, to be honest. I'm a Ferrari fan, for anybody who doesn't know. And it makes me very happy and very sad that Vettel is in P15 because shouldn't have moved away from a Ferrari, shouldn't have done all that, but he did get his comeuppance in the end. Schumacher 16th, that's probably where the Haas is going to be for the rest of the season. Pierre Gasly was a DNF. I don't actually remember Gasly.
Was he?
I don't remember Gasly or Latifi getting DNF. Alonso retired with brake issues, as we said earlier, and Mazepin spun into the barriers at turn 1. And that's it.
We have to give out the announcer.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah,
what do you have to say about the announcer?
What is that announcing? It's a shit. That's about it.
Could you be more specific?
It's annoying. It's not a good announcer. It's not like the old British announcers for the old Grand Prix. It's mediocre at best, and that's not what you need.
We do, you know, actually, we do have to
excitement. He's faking his excitement for the start of the race. That annoyed me.
We do, okay, on the subject of announcers and commentators, we have to say a very big rest in peace to Murray Walker, who died, I think it was 98, 97, 98 he died, so he lived a pretty good life.
Was? Give me a second.
This, if you don't know, we Google a lot of the, well, Owen Googles a lot of the things, I don't.
It's not going to tell me, is it? 97.
97, there you go.
20 years of
was always, yeah, I mean, he has a very interesting life, because he only started commentating around kind of 60, 65. He was an advertiser. He did, I think it was the Mars bar adverts, and he did, I can't remember, he did a few different sweet adverts, which is very cool. And then he found his real kind of hobby for.
He was in the army, so he's cool as fuck. He was an officer.
He drove, yeah, he was an officer in a Sherman tank.
Absolute Chad. He was a captain.
He was. We will miss him. We will miss him. So, in tribute to Murray Walker, we will end the video by saying that we've got to stop because we have lumps in our throats. Thank you so much for watching. We will be back in 3 weeks' time for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at Imola.
3 weeks.
It is, yeah. It's 3 weeks.
They will have to give not Sergio, Nikita some time to fix that wheel. I guess. Be fair.
Yeah, that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Au revoir.